The Town Hall Heroes Invitational. We are getting ready for the fifth and final game of the grand finals. And let's get to the introductions.
Can you unmute me? Hello, Kubi? What in the hell? What in the hell? What is that? What are you wearing? I was going to enjoy my Nutter Butter. I don't even want it anymore.
Sell out, boys.
I am Solid Jake, joined by Hawaiian Kubi, Nutter Butter, Zoloff, and Reese Pieces Shambam.
It's not Reese's Pieces. It's Reese's Sticks.
Sticks.
Reese's Sticks Shambam Alama.
Battleground is Battlefield of Eternity.
Why?
What?
First of all, okay, I can't really talk too much trash. I'm wearing a Legend of Korra shirt, but why do you own that?
Hey, I was wearing a Korra shirt yesterday. High five? High five?
Kubi.
No, don't touch him. Kevin, don't touch him. Look at that shirt.
Hey man, he's relaxed.
Yeah, man.
Is he though?
Just chill, man.
It's like he just got back from a West Coast vacation. He's coasting through life.
Anyways,
He's a son of a beach.
Battlefield of Eternity. Not Final Destination.
Definitely not Final Destination.
It's Battlefield. What are you guys thinking? Zagara first pick? Zagara ban?
I can't even look at Kubi.
It's really messing with everyone's brain, I think.
Don't button it up. Why? Kubi, I've always thought you were stylish, a good-looking young man, but dude, why do you own that?
Questions.
It's a good
I
question.
don't have an answer for you.
The draft's starting, guys. Templestorm with the first pick, first ban, Cloud9, Maelstrom, bringing them to Battlefield of Eternity.
Guys,
We're at game 5.
I just realized. Kubi's fishing for compliments.
I
don't know what's worse.
I was going to give you Onslaught.
Wait, Kubi just ate like half my candy that Jester gave me.
What?
You ate at least 2 of
I
them.
had one piece.
That's
Did
insane.
Jester give Kubi his own?
Probably.
Not probably.
Probably.
He gave us each his own little bag. Kubi got a bag.
Shout
Why
out
is
to
he in
Forecourt
your
Jester,
hand?
by the way.
I don't know. It's in my backpack, not in this room.
Shout out to Forecourt Jester, another person who was once lived in Phoenix.
Wait.
And he happened to be born
Jared, you're obsing from Skype. Kevin entered.
there. No, I'm already in the up spot.
We're having
It's
a
a
battle
fight.
right now.
Jaina has been banned. This will either be a Zagara ban or a Zagara first pick. Either way, Cloud and Maelstrom, they have to think about this. Would they rather fight Zeratul or would they rather play against Zagara, who is incredibly powerful here on Battlefield of Eternity?
Victory is mine.
I left.
I left. That's a really tough call. Tough call
Because
to
you
make.
look like a right-handed person to me.
Kick him. Get him. Jake!
What's the matter? That joke too sinister for you? Now we're going Latin.
What?
Hello?
I don't even.
What? Team, please describe.
Look at this shirt.
Corey, says his shirt and my brain just fails. I don't know if it's anger or, disbelief.
A new Barak?
Ooh, that's weird.
That's real weird.
Yeah.
What are they doing?
I actually don't know. Now, Anub has done marvelous things for Templestorm, but to ban Nubarak over Zeratul or Zagara is quite interesting.
Well, they're getting one or the other.
I like it a lot.
It's a toss. It's a toss pick.
I guess they want Zeratul?
This is good for second pick because you get 2 of the 3.
Yeah.
You get either Zagara, Leoric, or Zeratul.
Huh, that's very, very true.
That is terrifying. Also,
But-
I've said this in the past, I don't think Zeratul's that great on this map.
I was about to say,
Yeah.
this is his
Weak
weakest map. It's so hard for him to actually get around on this map. But at the same time, I don't know. I don't know if I really want to completely discredit the Anubarak as something else. Maybe they're trying to get rid of Webblast, or do they have maybe some sort of crazy strategy for this? Because Anubarak is a very interesting band to go for. Like, there's a ton of other bands to go for, but why Anubarak?
I think it's fine. I think Anubarak as a warrior could be very annoying to deal with, especially on this map. Beetles, the poke he has into the Guardian. I think it's fine.
I would think Kael'thas would be the one that would jump to your head immediately, unless Maelstrom wants Kael'thas really early in this draft. So maybe they're going to go for him here. Kael'thas Zeratul, that backline poke, can be a lot of damage thrown down very quickly.
This is another map where Asmodee is nowhere near as good. Laning is so little. So he's like, in terms of late game, Kael'thas far more powerful. Actually, probably the most powerful option available in the draft.
Yeah.
They're really thinking about this second pick.
It's tough. This is a tough pick. Is Leoric worth it? He's been very annoying and hard to deal with, but on this map, where early game is so important, is Leoric worth it?
Kael'thas.
They decide no.
5 seconds of bonus time.
Yeah, they're almost done with their draft time. So they are going to take the Kael'thas. That means, that poke to whatever the backline is for Tempo Storm, that's going to get quite scary, especially past that level 16 mark. Almost guaranteed on this battleground of all battlegrounds because of the lack of push or power provided from the objective. Although Tempo Storm's game 2 against PPST might tell you otherwise. That's usually the case.
I would like to see... I think double warrior would be good here. I'm just locking in both warriors right now.
Johanna, definitely. I think Johanna's one of the best people to go against the Zeratul with. But the question is past that?
Maybe not locking in both now, but there's
Leoric, Johanna.
All right.
Leoric, all right.
Wow.
Yeah, I like that pair.
And this puts him in a position to really lock out the warriors. Nubarak's already banned out. They can ban Johanna if they see priority in that. I mean, Arthas isn't the worst to have here, but...
I think it's pretty bad. I think with a Zeratul Kael'thas, I don't know. I don't.
That's
really
not true. No, Arthas is fine. I would ban out Arthas before I'd ban out Ethereal.
Well, they're going to ban out Johanna.
Yeah. And I think
Johanna,
that puts them in just kind of an unideal warrior scenario.
So many warriors now.
Yeah, there is, and it's a
There's
good problem
always
to have.
been a lot of warriors. It's just that Murd and Johanna were so much better than everyone else.
Man,
Yeah.
can't wait to have real
There's
support.
Nazebo. I like the Nazebo band.
Yeah.
I like the
Especially
Nazebo.
because
It's
on this map, just pushing is just so good. And the Nazebo Zagara would be just way too much to deal with. For the healer, though, Tempo Storm Rhaegar? Or Malfurion? Or Uther?
Malfurion on this map. Innervates to do wonder. Denying the Mal from Tempo Storm. Like, if you give Zagara X, like, any poke, Innervates, it's just like, how do you siege into that? Oh, Tempo Storm banning out Malf. Wow. They realize that Maelstrom could have sniped that away. Forces them on the Rhaegar or Uther. Probably going to pick the Rhaegar here.
This is so interesting.
The Uther is like so highly contested in this set. I think there's been Uther every single game picked by both sides.
Yeah, he has. And especially with Zeratul, there's so much power with that Divine Shield to keep him alive. In Kael'thas, clutch plays can be made, and we've seen many today.
Yeah. Cloud9 Maelstrom now has to decide what they want to do. Sustained healing like a front like Malfurion is very, very great against the Zagara. So taking out that Malfurion, I completely agree with it.
Are they going to go Falstad?
Oh my gosh.
That would not be too bad here.
Maelstrom? That's a lot of
Yeah,
blow
it's something Maelstrom
potential.
would do. Tempo, not so much, but
Yeah.
Or
fits with what they have.
VP out the healer, Judgment, Shock and Eye one target. Abathur.
Nope,
Dude,
they're not going
Abathur.
Falstad.
I think that's fine. I think take denying Abathur.
Yeah.
The
really
soak
good,
is huge.
especially with Leoric.
Abathur's
So-
so good on this map.
Plus Leoric Abathur is like, hello?
Yeah, I think it's good in all ways. So nice pickup there. Final two picks about to happen for Tempo Storm in terms of healers should be. Oh, well, they have their pick. Would you think it'd be? We've seen Uther more than Rhaegar.
Uther.
today. Yeah.
I think it's Uther. The
Uther.
difference between Uther and Rhaegar is the moment Uther gets out of any CC or VP, the Divine Shield, instant. Whereas Rhaegar, the moment he gets out, he has it's like a 1.5 second build up for the Ancestral.
It's not even that, but that's a great point. But think about level 20. Leoric and Uther just won't be off the map.
Yeah.
You'll have Redemption and you'll have Leoric.
But if this game
on
goes to
average.
20, that's crazy. Like Battlefield
That's
almost
true.
never goes.
Battlefield. No, that's not true.
Well, at the same time, you also have to consider like just the damage output and the additional healing you get from Rhaegar, but I think valid points. I would have to agree with Uther here. In terms of damage, Vala's still on the table. Falstad's still on the table. I don't think we'll see Carrion or something like that.
No, not with the. I mean, nah, it's not something
I think. Oh, but who would play it? That would be Arth. I think Uther Sylph. I think you catch someone. It's gonna. Oh, okay.
Vala.
Rhaegar.
Wow. That's weird.
We were wrong on those last 2 picks altogether.
Yeah, we were.
Maelstrom's last pick. I think we're all feeling the Falstad's just been kind of their go-to for the longest time. Falstad or Nova.
No, they're gonna go Uther, yeah.
Oh wait, they don't have their healer. What am I thinking? Yeah.
There's Uther. So, Battlefield of Eternity, our final battleground of the day, with some very different bands, very different picks compared to some of the earlier maps that we saw.
You know what's awesome? Absolutely ridiculously awesome.
You're gonna say Onslaught?
Yeah.
Are you happy? Are you excited?
Pretty excited. Pretty pumped.
Hawaiian Kubi, what'd you think of these drafts?
I don't know, the Solo Warrior
Tyrael. The draft reminds me of Kubi's shirt.
Wow, you love it?
It's casual.
It's trash. Take it off. Put it in the dumpster next to your face, Kubi. Take it off right now. Come on, baby, show me the muscles.
Game number 5 will start very soon. The players are in the lobby. Kevin is in the dumpster. I forgot why I put you in there. I think you made a pun or something.
Probably.
Why is it so green? Does the dumpster smell really bad? What's the deal with that?
I was thinking it was environmentally friendly.
Good spin on it.
No, it's definitely a smelly dumpster.
Maybe it's radioactive.
I like that. That's cool. We've given them
Dude, Kevin, I can't wait.
sick commentary.
Oh, that's cool.
I'm so hyped to try and play-by-play from Jake's perspective. Like, I watched the stream a few times. I'm like, Jake, what are you looking at here?
Yeah.
Observer fired. All right, you guys have one last chance.
Ever since... Oh, yeah.
They have one last chance
For what?
to redeem themselves.
Who?
Oh, in the intros?
For the introduction.
Guys, once again, Town Hall Heroes is a podcast we do every single Wednesday night. This is our invitational we're doing as a bit of a mix-up of things. We've had some extraordinary games, so be sure to follow Town Hall Heroes on Twitter. Check out the podcast on iTunes and youtube.com/SolidJigTV for the VOD. Game number 5 is loading in.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's Game 5. On the blue hand side, from Cloud9 Maelstrom, it's King Caffeine as
Tyrael.
K1 Pro playing
Kael'thas.
Dunk Train on
Uther.
Fan playing
Abathur. And Adrian playing Zeratul.
All right, now that we have Mickey Mouse done with the introductions on the right side of the map, it is going to be Tempo Storm looking to close this series out. They brought it back 2-2. Arthon is going to be playing
Vala.
Zuna on
Murden
KO.
is going to be playing as Zagara.
Dreadnought.
As Uther.
No.
Rhaegar.
Soldier.
Yo, can we talk about the fact that we just bodied you?
1 out of 5.
That's body, bud.
Okay.
Battlefield of Eternity Game 5 hype. $1,000 to first place. $675 to second.
We're in there.
We're in there.
Is it true facts?
That is correct here. Now, we do not see talents. Kevin, is this what you've dealt with all day?
Why do you think I've been so silent all day?
Dang, man. Everything looking pretty normal here. We do see a little bit of change up. Block going to be taken up here on Zeratul. I guess it's kind of like a 50-50 split right now. People either take regen or block at this point.
And with the hard-hitting auto attacks from Leoric, sure, it helps. And that's who is that? That's iDream? Yeah, that's a bit of an interesting one. Usually they're going for what, Regen Master? Not sure how I feel about it. I guess it makes a little bit of sense. Keep them alive a bit longer. anything else. We do not know pressurized glance picked up for Abathur either. It's going to be a little bit more push style. Other than that,
oh, Leoric has fallen in the bottom lane. First blood going to the side of Cloud9. The Immortals will be spawning in just about 2 seconds. And while having that slight advantage has been already relinquished because Leoric is balanced.
You're here, folks.
Just gonna softball that one in there, huh?
Looks like Tempo's going straight for the aggression here, not going to be going for a defensive posture. They're going straight on the Immortal for Cloud9 Maelstrom. Now, iDream has scouted this out, is going to be going onto the back line, looking to put some pressure onto KO or Dreadnought in the back. But already taking this Immortal down a lot lower, and then there we go. Dungtrade taking a lot of damage. Their Hungering Arrow doing so much in that fight, bouncing almost straight to him.
Alright, Dunk's quite low in the back line. He's just going to be able to heal up a little bit, but they did sustain a fair amount of damage onto their Immortal.
And with that, a little bit of damage, it now leads to them to being able to just go to back to lanes, picking up that level 4, because already we see that Tempo Storm is just so close to being, Cloud9 Maelstrom is so close to picking up that level 4, they have to be very afraid, especially those level 4 fights are just so pivotal at this moment, because that could easily turn into an Immortal for one side or the other.
Looks like Immortal phase is going to be forced here by Tempo Storm as they do get it down low enough. Here comes the Capcom fight in the middle of the arena.
Yeah, Zagara doing a lot of work, really proving the worth that she has on this map, a reason that she was in that first pick slot for Tempo Storm. So a little bit of lockdown onto Uther. We're seeing the leap almost getting the body block. Dungtrain will be able to get it. iDream, not so much. Soldier also falling, so 1-for-1 trade.
Yeah, nice trade, so they just managed to focus on Leoric. The Stormbolt goes down onto Kael'thas. K1 Pro, though, with the hat and the heals, will be alive.
And they're going for the Toxic Nest Prolific Dispersal on Abathur as well. They're going completely into this really weird kind of omnipresent Abathur build instead of going for the normal Spike build that we always see.
I think that's kind of really smart in this regard. I mean, the mines are going to be so impactful. It's kind of like, in a lot of ways, vision, similar to the tumors, but additional damage can't hurt.
Right, especially for that Zeratul, especially for just kind of just taking out those creep tumors as well. You can also use those mines, but I'm curious to see just really what they're going to be doing with this Abathur. Are they going to be constantly pushing the same lane, or if they're going to be constantly split pushing instead?
And Caffeine starting to work on the, K1 Pro starting to work on the Immortal of Tempo Storm side. They are not here to contest it, as Dreadnought does come over here to push them off it. A little bit of damage done to there, but Tempo Storm still maintaining a large lead in health. And here comes the collapse. Zeratul looks like he's above them. Arthlon taking some light damage. They're going to be just fine. Looks like Tempo Storm trying to collapse on them. He's going to blink on out of there. So they're going for a slow on the Dungtrain. He's going to heal himself up, and it looks like they're going to be able to put some decent pressure onto this Immortal. No, they're going to be driven back by K1 Pro. Here comes iDream from above, putting some damage on Arthlon, misses the Singularity Spike, and no more damage will be done to him.
Could have been quite a bit of damage. Zeratul still looking to apply a bit of that pressure, trying to catch up in the Immortal fight, but honestly at this point, just the little pokes that KO has been able to throw down has been doing a lot, and they're really getting close to being able to turn this first Immortal phase in Tempo Storm's favor. The poke from iDream has not been enough thus far.
That's exactly why we see Zagara so highly prioritized here on this battleground. I mean, you just throw the roaches, you throw the Hydra down, is guaranteed damage. And it's no other hero has that kind of poke. Nazebo somewhat in that regard, but was banned out here in Game 5.
And that's just why, you know, I really think it's going to be incredibly pivotal that Cloud9 Maelstrom gets super hard engages going on very soon against Tempo Storm. If they don't, they're just going to constantly lose all these Immortal fights just to that chip damage coming in there from KO. So they need to be a little bit more aggressive, but right now they just keep trying to go back into lane to make sure that they hit the same level as Tempo Storm, and meanwhile, every single time they do that, they lose a little bit in terms of, you know, that.
Nice kill from iDream there. Onto Muradin. Zuno's going to end up going down. Good gravity up's going down. Soldier taking a lot of damage. He's trying to get out of there. He should be just fine. He's getting really, really low. He's going to back on out of here. I just want to echo what Chad2 just said, though. Like, the fact that Tempo Storm keeps rotating the lanes has made the experience, the Abathur soak gain, almost negated completely here. But wow, look at the pressure that Maelstrom just put onto Tempo Storm's Immortal.
Yeah, but the fact that they have to rotate to the lanes is also a big deal.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, it's forcing a lot of rotations. They've done a good job balancing out these Immortals, considering the lead that Tempo Storm had at that point in time. King Caffeine actually quite low in mana, not really going to be able to provide so much pressure. They're really just defending at this point, waiting for that opportunity for them to just go back and try to strike mid. I'm not sure who's going to go to. iDream looking to try to get the pick, but there's nobody quite low enough. They do have level 7, which is a big power spike for Zeratul in particular. He's going to have to blink out, taking a lot of damage from that Hydralisk and Zuna.
This is a scary point too, is that King Caffeine and iDream, you know, they have to constantly spend mana to be out here on the field trying to do as much as possible, but as soon as they run out of mana, they're pretty much useless, but they can't really go back home because they need to be out on the map as much as possible. Zuna is going to be able to finish off the Immortal, and that's going to go in favor of Tempo Storm now. There he is, completely triumphing over his Angel enemy, and now they're going to be kind of jumping on into the bot lane.
I've noticed it a few times in fight now. The slow from the bombs, wow. It seems to be extremely obnoxious for Tempest Storm to deal with. Arthalon and Dreadnought were trying to kite away in one of those fights, and suddenly they're slowed, and King Caffeine's on top of them. That is going to be something we need to keep our eyes on the entire game, because those slows could be the difference between someone living and someone dying. It's very noticeable.
All right, well, cool builds here from Fan on Abathur. He did push that top lane out a bit, but is still maintaining that level or experience lead on the side of Tempest Storm, especially with this boss plowing through this bottom fort.
iDream looking to try to pick someone off in the back line, but they honestly haven't done enough damage at all. They've just been focusing on this Immortal. They are going to be able to push them back. I don't think they're going to get the fort for the time being. They've successfully defended at this point in time. Abathur still soaking the top lane, thus the experience is fairly close.
Huge thing to note, no Mule and Abathur, of course. That is also a big, that could be the difference. Like, right now, normally it'd be like Abathur, you're muling up that fort, that's a huge loss for Tempest Storm. No, we're not seeing Mule this game. It's a big change up on this build from Fan.
You were talking before about those slows, Zoya, and look at that level 7 talent. It's the Vile Nests. More slows going on over here for Cloud9. They are just stacking up as much crowd control as possible.
Yep. All right, well, Heroics were picked up here on the side of Tempo, Entomb, Moss, Strafe, Ancestral Heal, and Avatar. And on the other side, Kubi, what do we have going on?
We have the Divine Shield, the Void Prison, the Phoenix, Judgment, and the Ultimate Evolution. Zeratul very likely to be the copy this time around, having the 2 cloaked targets in the backline just to provide that additional damage and pressure that the original Zeratul would always like to have paired up. Kael'thas is always something that's, you know, especially past level 16, is going to be a big threat, so keep an eye on that.
We're about a half-level lead right now in favor of Tempo Storm. Looks like they're going to be starting the Siege Camp in the top, and it looks like Maelstrom will be starting their Bruisers in the bottom left. Oh, nope. I can't see things from my screen. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's the Fallen Shaman we're collecting here from Maelstrom. You're correct.
Okay.
And KO throwing down Maw to try to stay alive here. iDream took a fair amount of damage, but the Maw did not connect on anyone.
What's interesting is the Vala went for Strafe, and I was thinking, like, that's a really kind of weird thing. You normally go for a Rain of Vengeance so you can try and lock down that Zeratul, but then I look at the enemy team, I look at Cloud9 Maelstrom, I don't see that many stuns to knock out that Strafe. So those Strafes could be pretty great for them in the fact that the only thing that can really knock him out of that is going to be a Judgment, or Void Prison, or if Uther gets close enough. But then again, if your Uther's that close, then that's going to be...
VP doesn't even take you out of Strafe, just pauses the Strafe, so VP doesn't even interrupt it. So yeah, good points there. Strafe's going to be very, very powerful here now. The Immortal does take some light damage on Tempest Storm's side. Stormbolt does go out. Nice dodge there from iDream. And it looks like Tempest Storm's going to be wanting to put pressure on that. Look at those lines, man. God, that slow is insane. Look how slow he... Oh,
yeah,
wow.
That's crazy.
That is so cool.
They're in such good positions as well. Like, just kind of tucked in these corners. Places when you're trying to round that corner and get away, it's going to clip you. Very nicely done here by Fan.
Yeah, just being absolutely obnoxious. We see some of the members of rotating up. We do have the Entomb thrown down onto Dunk Tray, and Uther's not going to get enough of a follow-up, and actually pops a bit of an overextension. He's going to be able to use the Hardened Bones to get out. Bit of a trade.
The best thing about the Entomb is that 50-second cooldown. It'll be back up pretty quickly.
That's a big deal. All right, but Tempo is starting to chip away. Cloud9 has done a bit of chipping towards the Immortal of Tempo as well. But a nice Gravity Labs buying some time, forcing Murder back, Fan in the back line, really dishing out the damage, and the Ancestral Healing does come out.
A nice Ultimate Evolution from there. Now the chase is happening. Tempest Storm ready to re-engage here. As they're going to put some extra damage onto this. Immortal Phoenix does go out. Fan Clone just about to go down. Dreadnought doing the chain heal. Doing a lot to keep his team up right now. And most of them seem to be doing pretty well. They're both all going to lanes to tap well. Make sure they're getting that experience. Fan, of course, you can see his body in lane. Has been aggressively soaking as well as he can.
Okay. Both these teams very, very passive now with this Immortal phase. Not really as much pressure as we saw earlier. And it just goes to show the respect that both these teams have. They realize a lot is on the line for this game. The Judgment is being thrown down onto KO. That's the target they're looking to pick. The Maw. Is it going to be able to save him in time? He looks like he's going to fall down, but at what cost? Dunk Train. Is he going to be able to stay alive? Zuna with the chase. King Caffeine the slow from the Eldruin's Might. The Avatar Hat, he's going to throw down the Divine Shield. He turns around, he gets the stun on to Muradin. He ends up falling down as well, so that's a 2-for-1 trade out, as we did have Zeratul falling as well.
Oh, but nice reaction from Templestorm. They're burning down this Immortal as fast as they can. Can't see what damage is done to their Immortal, but they do force the phase to swap there. And that's delays in enough time to get Templestorm's members back onto the field for the next Immortal phase.
But at the same time, Tempeststorm delaying that is going to cost them a little bit just because they have so much to really have to, chew through before. Oh, sorry, Cloud9 has so much to chew through, but I don't know. It's really close to level 13, so it's just going to be another huge team fight coming on up very quickly. And already, I don't know how those team fights are going to go past 13.
Well, there's 13 for Templestorm. We do see the increased heal, the healing surge for Rhaegar. Thunderstrike picked up, and then double spell shield and the Mutalisk.
Yeah, the Mutalisk is a really interesting talent here. Just because, we're going to be able to have those Mutalisks that chase forever, and on a Zeratul, that's very nicely. Like, the Hydralisks are pretty great, but on a map like this, where there's so many little ways you can get in and out, having the Mutalisk to chase down an iDream is going to be perfect, just to keep him uncloaked.
I want to say K1 Pro is landing the sickest Flame Strikes. If he had 16 already, this would be a crazy game. He's landed multiple back-to-back, multi-man Flame Strikes there. Now Soldier getting hit by the Gravity Lapse. There goes a little bit of shape, Living Bomb onto him, but he's going to be topped off pretty quickly there by Dreadnought. They're trying to siege into this as well as they can. KO dropping his roaches, putting his Mutalisk on a few targets here and there. And, they're slowly whittling it down, but this is a pretty solid defense so far from Maelstrom.
Yeah, gotta hand it to KT. He's always playing safe in the back line, like you said. Not just the Flame Strikes, but even the Gravity Lapse coming through time and time again.
Wormholes now picked up. iDream able to force a couple whiffs out of those abilities. Flame Strike and Phoenix doing a lot to sort of poke away at that Immortal. Looking for that engage. Both teams poking. Templestorm getting aggressive at this point in time. It's going to be the play. iDream kind of forced out of position, very much so. Soldier is hot on his trail. The Entomb actually does catch him. It's going to force his blink out. Very interesting play to Void Prison. Nicely done.
All right, VP is used, but so is Strafe. 2 heroics for 1, and he does get away.
Templestorm looking like they want to re-engage onto this. The Immortal's about a third HP down. They know they don't have to play super safe anymore as VP is down. They're going straight on top of this. iDream going in on top of the Warriors. Gets the cleave down, but not doing too much damage just yet. Soldier, so very tank up here. Does get knocked back by the Immortal. Dreadnought being zoned out by the Phoenix, trying to swing around. Can he get the Ancestral off? And he does get it out of there just in time. All of iDream having to blink out. Avatar Hat barely saving him there, and it looks like this should be enough damage to get the Immortal down. Flame Strike's going up. Zuna getting really low. He's going to have to Dwarf Toss out here, but there's the Avatar popped at the last second there, and Immortal looks like it's just about to gets the kill on the Arthalon, and he is going to Wormhole out of there just fine. It looks like Fan Clone should go down here, and that's going to be the Immortal. One person killed, but they do get the Immortal.
It's a pretty strong one, too. More than 50% power on that Immortal. Good attack there with the double Zeratul onto Vala. She fell incredibly quickly, but Tempo prevailed in terms of the Immortal fight.
Yeah, they just spent too much time with their HP too low. They couldn't really have a strong commitment to it. So at the point that Jared called, yeah, this is going to be the Immortal, even though they were able to go back in, get an additional takedown, it was pretty clear that they just didn't have the sustain to stick around to take that. So Templestorm takes an additional Immortal. Are they going to be able to secure themselves an additional fort? Gives them a nice boost on their way to level 16. I should think that they will have that advantage afforded to them.
It's a little scary, though. They have been completely low on mana this entire time. I mean, right now, I think it's possible for Cloud9 Maelstrom to actually turn this into a pretty good engagement if they have the ability to. But they are going to lose this fort. If Tempo pushes on just a little bit too far forward, I mean, Dreadnought's pretty low on mana. He's going to be able to get a couple more of those healing waves in, but still, you have to be very, very careful of that. Arthalon is going to get a good amount of damage done from iDream, but you have to be careful.
Well, that 650 XP from that tower has really pushed them towards 16. Getting the second one will get them incredibly close, but the Void Prison is thrown out. Judgment goes in, but the Maw is on point!
There's an Ancestral going down onto KO. The Avatar has been popped. Looks like he's in full retreat. Teo gets the Divine Shield, and Tomb does end up missing. And the the Stormbolt just a little bit too late. No kills there. That Maw was so clutch from KO.
That was a really nice one. To be able to disengage and completely negate the ability for Cloud9 Maelstrom to be able to set up there, very nicely played.
Okay, looks like they're going to back up, take some mercenary camps, looking to apply a little bit of that additional pressure. They do have both the forts down, kind of does mean a lot on this battleground, especially for that next Immortal phase that pops up. They'll have a lot of pressure onto those keeps with any additional mercenary camps that they decide to grab. Level 16 on its way. Second charge of the Mutalisk, we'll be able to see that. Probably the sustain style for Leoric. Does he get the extra, or the Vitality swing? Tidal Wave, so a lot more burst healing available for Rhaegar, especially once that Rhaegar... no, we're actually going to have the cooldown reduction on the Drain Hope.
I like that more than the title healing, whatever it's called, on the wave. You're mainly fighting in the middle. That thing is great when you're like fighting when there's minions everywhere. You can reduce the cooldown on your death so much faster. When you're fighting in the middle, not to be getting too much value out of that, especially when you're looking here. But there's clips of Entomb going down the iDream there. I believe Bolt is down, and Tempestrom is here collapsing as one. And that Divine Shield might be enough to save him. He's getting out here. He blinks over the wall. Wow, what a clutch save from Dunk Train.
Entomb for Divine Shield, though, at the end of the day, still well worth it for Leoric.
Yeah, agreed. We do see this is like a great moment for Cloud9 Maelstrom. Look at how long these fights have been going. Look at how K1 Pro is consistently landing these great fame strikes. Suddenly what's been a really close poke war now changes suddenly. Tempostorm has to be more aggressive with their decisions, or K1 Pro is going to destroy Tempostorm in these poke wars.
iDream picked up Berserk at level 16 instead of going for either the Storm Shield or Stone Skin, or perhaps maybe one of the double bombs, Rending Cleave. In this case, that is a lot of damage output. A 60-second cooldown on that activatable, but you do get the huge attack speed increase. Might end up playing a huge role in rotating those spells.
I'm really kind of curious about that, because, I mean, there's a couple of spell shields that do go down on the enemy team, but the Berserk, I'm not exactly sure if I really see that so much. Especially, I guess maybe that's to mitigate a little bit of Zuna's going through the Reverberation at level 1. It's a lot of auto attack speed for iDream, but he has to stay in the back line, being able to just tear somebody apart for that duration, or it's not really going to be worth that much.
Stormbolt misses iDream at a Vault Blink. Wormhole does end up coming out of the fight. Good Gravity Lapse to disengage from Soldier. And again, the positioning and decision making from Maelstrom is so very good right now. Don't Train constantly with these clutch seals, these clutch cleanses. They are doing such a great job. Maelstrom is playing phenomenal right now.
And this poke of Kael'thas is a massive, threat. It's a big problem because it's not something that Tempostorm can replicate on their own. A lot of damage coming out from iDream as well, blinking out of the way. Dunk Train going to take a lot of damage here, but Divine Shield is ready, and they're going to lose Vala very quickly.
Cleanse not being able to be thrown down in time. iDream continue to put pressure. Are they almost able to get Soldier? Yes, that's going to be a follow-up. iDream will be able to lock that kill down. That is 2 down right now. We do have Vala falling very early in the fight. Fan with that is the clone. Dreadnought having to use the Ancestral Healing on himself, putting even more damage to follow up. iDream not too far off with the stun. Dunk Train with the double stun for the Benediction, well placed, and that is a lot of takedowns. 3 for nothing thus far for Cloud9 Maelstrom.
That's huge.
Can they get Zuna? Zuna's poking forward. He's actually staying full on in the fight. He already used his Dwarf Toss. It is already back up. But he's taking a good amount of hits. He's going to have to get on out of here before the rest of Cloud9 Maelstrom turns their ire towards him. But they're going to be able to melt this Immortal so quickly.
For the first time, we saw like an actual big fight advantage for one team. And that suddenly there's a full level advantage for Cloud9 going to the late game. That is a very big deal.
They just have no sustained damage onto the Immortal though. They had 3 full heroes wailing away at it for a good 5+ seconds, and they did.
Oh, the Entomb going on to Uther. He's taking a lot of damage. Doesn't have enough mana. Gets the Divine Shield off at the last second, but he's going to be just fine for now. The knockback helping disengage for Soldier. KO gets picked up in the backline. iDream doing work there. The leap forward does happen. There's the Judgment going on, but will he be able to let other Arthlon take a lot of damage? He's trying to kill Dunk Train, but he's going to fall himself. And Tempostorm getting picked left and right. This is looking so bad for them.
And
my god, it looks like they might get Soldier. The Ancestral is going to be on point, though. That means that they have full range to go straight on into this Mortal.
Guys, suddenly, Cloud9 is in a huge position to take this game. I mean, yeah, structurally they're down a little bit, but getting this first Immortal, well, now 20 minutes of the game, the Immortal is much more powerful. They have a huge lead going towards level 20 and getting the Storm talents. We have not seen this situation in a tournament in so long.
No, they're looking very, very strong in this late game. The fights have been clean. They've been really punishing the overextensions, trying to take down some of the backline heroes. They will be able to get their first fort of the game, yes, with the backline. Yes, a good just push wave with the creeps, and now they're going to have the Immortal very likely. At least they have the control. Level 20 is on its way. That's almost a 2-level advantage. It's rare to see between these two teams this late in the game.
They're so close to 20. This is so hard for Tempostorm to try to defend this Immortal.
So they're going to knock back there. The damage is coming out, but Will Tempestorm be able to turn out? They've lost the last two team fights. Zuna taking a lot of damage. Living Bomb going to go off there, not splashing to the rest of his teammates. 20 tier is here, guys. The Abathur Soak, the kills this late game, is proving so valuable right now because we are there, guys. The 2-level lead is about to happen.
And once they hit level 20, I mean, already we see Abathur going for the Locust Brood at level 16, and he's just able to keep pushing these lanes so incredibly easily. I'm curious to see what his level 20 is going to be. It's still going to be the Hive Mind, which is a good decision. I was curious if he was going to go for the Locust Nest, but yeah, the Hive Mind I think is still a better decision. But his split pushing is just too strong. Look at how well he's able to keep these lanes completely pushed all the time.
Well, this top immortal is falling very quickly with the Phoenix on it, and 4 members of Cloud9 Maelstrom. They do have the Storm talents: Redemption, Rewind, Bolt, Hardened Shield, and Hive Mind. That is scary.
Yeah, and it's going to be some time before Tempestorm is going to be able to match with their own Storm talents. The immortal has been picked up, about half energy left on it. That should provide more than enough pressure to take this bottom fort down. Tempestorm looking to defend the best they can.
These are one of those pushes that can be game-ending. You have over half shield mortal, and you have your 20 talents. If Maelstrom plays this right, which they've been playing almost perfectly this entire game, this could be devastating for Tempestorm and could end the game. They're going straight into the fort right now. They're gonna get to the. There's no way that they're gonna.
The question is how much damage they can do before then, because if they can start picking up possibly even Soldier, like right now, oh, Soldier just barely getting away with that. But, I mean, if they could pick up one hero right now, this could even get to core.
Yeah, definitely. And the Immortal shields are just about to wear off, which will make it more vulnerable as it will switch to melee mode. But even then, it's still going to hit incredibly hard, and Storm Talents are very far away for Tempestorm.
Over a full level to go still. They're doing a good job of burning this down. Maelstrom not really sieging super hard into it. The last two Thunderstrikes have not really connected as well as they would, so it does not look like the Peep will go down with this. Oh, wow, top lane taking a lot of damage from those Shamans there. That's going to help Tempestorm out a lot. They can get that, but the Maw does go down. Gravity Lapse lands onto Soldier. The Avatar Clone has gone out. The damage is being done right now. Zagar taking a lot of damage. Fan does blink forward. They're trying to kill KO as well as they can, and he is going to fall.
But the strafe is hitting just about the entire team. Fan is incredibly low. That is the clone. It does go down here, and we see King Caffeine 1 health left. He does get out of that situation in the last 5 seconds. Zuna in the front line, hit by the Flame Strike, will not end up falling. Dream nearly got the takedown.
Oh man, so many members of Tempestorm are really, really low. K1 Pro with the blink forward look to try to get that ranged flamethrower. Not going to be successful. Don't think they're going to have enough stay power to take out this keep. So Tempestorm losing one hero, they are able to keep this keep alive, putting a lot of pressure on that top lane.
Talk about an even game.
Yeah.
What?
I call that a win for Tempestorm, though, honestly.
Oh, yeah, the keep is up. And they're 20 now.
They're able to hold that without having 20. That is really good for Tempestorm. They now have those Storm Talents. We have the double Rewind, the double Bolt of the Storm, and that should be Hardened Shield on Leoric. Actually, I want to talk about the Rewind pick on Murder. I think that's so smart. Because if Irem's not predicting it, he blinks in, wormholes out, and then goes in it for again thinking Stormbolt's down. It's not going to be. The Rewind is, I like that a lot from Zuna.
Yeah.
Or if they just land one Stormbolt, they can just lock him down for 2 Stormbolt
Why
durations.
do you think Soldier's holding off on the talent for Leoric at 20? What are the options that he could be considering right now?
Well, they're not going to take the damage on the...
Oh my goodness, Zuna taking a lot of damage. The Zeratul does blink in, but just trading blows.
I think Soldier has to just be forgetting at this point. There's nothing that could be... Like, he's not going to go for the damage on Tomb. You could do the lifesteal talent, right? Is that the other one?
Yeah, it's 5% max HP, but there's no real high HP target, so I think it's got to be Hardened Shield.
Yeah.
Scary moment for both these teams, though. The keeps on both the bot and top here for both these teams are very, very low. And it looks like already Tempo being pretty aggressive.
They might just want to say, we're ignoring the mortal, we're forcing you to fight us up here, or we're getting your keep. I like this really aggressive play from Tempest.
Keep will fall.
Maelstrom have to respond, and I think you're right, Jake. How do they stop this without forcing the fight right now?
Yeah. So Tempo's trying to trade to keep. That's exactly what they're trying to do here. They're pressuring a lot, just throwing the Hungry Arrow out, throwing down the summons that they can, but it's going to be very difficult to do. The Cosmic Camp does end up falling, but the Tempo keep has already collapsed with the Shaman and the Locusts.
Yeah, so Tempo's going to actually lose in that whole entire trade. They're trying to make that into a question, but it looks like it's not going to be answered. They're not going to get that keep in the top lane, and with Cloud9 grabbing that keep in the bot lane, that's going to be a constant question on their mind of whether or not they have to go back and defend that. Arthalon taking a good amount of damage, but Skull Shield is going to keep him alive.
Mortal take
All right, this is a problem. Core's shields are gone. Actually, no, the wave is just about dead, but this is still a day situation. Big Void Prison does get thrown out.
Okay, with the Phoenix underneath, that's going to provide a good amount of zone control, a little bit of area damage, some stuns, really just pushing them off, forcing the situation. Zuna getting really aggressive, does end up taking the shot from that Flame Strike.
Void Prison being down though is huge.
Yeah,
it is.
I think he did not get much done. That was really poor execution there from Maelstrom. But here comes the Judgment going on the backline. Will it be enough to take anyone down? No, they vault out of there. The Maul goes down onto Uther, and it's full disengage time from Tempestorm. A big straight from Arthur. Looks like the fan club is going to go down. That's two heroics, both VP and Ultimate Evolution up, and a big Flame Strike coming out from K1 Pro.
Oh, they're going to be able to get the pick off onto Rhaegar. That is massive. And the pick on the KO Arthlon. Is he going to go down? This might be Cloud9 Maelstrom taking this game right here, right now.
Dream is going in. The hat is there. 3 members have fallen, and Cloud9 is going to look to the core of Tempestorm to try to take the Town Hall Invitational. Zuna is getting incredibly low. I think he's going to go down as well.
That's it.
Oh my god, and this is, 4 people still up. Sorry, 5 people, because there's an Abathur, and they're going to be able to push on into the, and GG with the aggressive
offensive
GG.
Yeah, wow.
Maelstrom has done it. The curse is broken. Finally, after a 2-month spree, I don't know what the exact stats are. Maelstrom has done it. They have finally dethroned Tempestorm.
This is actually such a big deal. So many events where it's like 3-0 tempo, 3-0 tempo, 3-0 tempo, but now in a best-of-5 series, Cloud9 bites back, fights back, and they take the Town Hall Invitational, earning themselves $1,000 and the title of the Kings of the Town?
What?
The Town Hall Heroes.
You're building up so much momentum. You had a great line there.
This is what I do.
Kings of the Town.
You with that, sir.
They win the title of Town Hall Heroes. That's just, they are now the heroes of Town Hall.
Oh, my shirt.
You had it, bro.
See-through. Look at that.
Oh yeah, some of it, the green screen, working
Like
with
that.
that shirt. Congratulations to Cloud9 from what an insane set. This is one of the best series we've had in such a long time.
I found Nemo.
Let's get him on the phone.
Yeah, let's set up an interview.
Yeah.
Let's production things.
Let's get Dunkus in here.
Hold on. Let's
Dunkus. Now you can call him Dunkus.
Dunkus.
Don't just raw call him.
Why not?
We're raw calling them. It's happening. The raw call is here, boys.
Wait, how do we do this?
I don't know. His production's going to get real silly. Jake's thinking about it now. He's like, oh, wait.
I'll figure it out.
Can't just draw them into...
I'll figure it out. Don't worry. Don't worry about it.
I don't know what's happening.
We're getting no response. We're trying to hit up Dunktrain right now.
Just calling him.
Wow. Raw call. Raw call.
Raw call.
Does it work?
Hello.
Wow.
He already ran.
I still can't believe this has happened here at Town Hall. You know, I even called Cloud9 out today. I said they already have a mentality of they're defeated every time I watch them play against Tempestorm.
Hey.
But there he is.
The beard.
The beard has gotten even more luxurious since last time I saw it.
After that win, it's looking real nice.
Everything's all jumbled. I'm gonna fix that. Duncan,
wow!
Congrats, my friend.
That was a grueling series. How much do you love Leoric?
Oh my god, Leoric is unbelievable, dude.
Leoric
is unbelievable.
Even like he just slowly moved up in the picks as we were moving through the draft.
Yeah,
it's just
yeah,
like
it
every game, it's like
started
all right, moving up to first ban. Yeah.
Yeah, second, third rotate, and then it's like, oh shit, this guy is insanity.
Yeah.
And like everybody's first picking him. Oh my god, that series.
All right, Doug.
Sounds good.
That like you said, was insane set 3-2. Let's just like jump right into it. You guys fought like it's been like a month and a half. Yeah, about a month and a half since the Tempestorm reign has begun. You finally did.
Yeah.
How do you feel right now?
Dude, feels so good to finally come back and win a series, because like everybody who's like, oh my god, Tempestorm's just so much better than them, so much better than them, so much better than them, and it was just like, dude, we had one bad month, a slump, like, come on. So it's nice to finally show that like we're on the same caliber, like we are the top teams in NA, and like even throughout the series, the way we literally just evolved the meta, like we set the way it's going to work.
It was going really back and forth in terms of meta, and already we saw some really salty tweets coming out in the beginning of the Leoric and Abathur. So I'm guessing that the Leoric Abathur is really just not something you're going to want to deal with in the future.
Every time Abathur is good, I hate it. I don't even like winning with Abathur. Like, I don't think that hero should exist. Like, oh my god. But, hey man, that's the game we're given.
Game 5, you guys open up the draft with a new Barak ban. Was this targeted and for what reasons?
Mostly it just felt like Anubrak was a linchpin of the style that they wanted to play. Like the style they're most comfortable with, it seemed like had been like the multiple tank dive hard, and Anubrak is like the linchpin of that, along with Tyrael. So we figured if we deny Anubrak, make funny faces at Zoya, and then take Tyrael, then it kind of hamstrings them.
I like it. It kind of netted you guys a Zeratul Kael'thas pick immediately after because they're just going to go for the Zagara, so I think that set you guys up really well. And that back line damage burst proved to be so effective so many times in that last game. So kudos to having the... and you guys spent a lot of time thinking about that particular part of the draft. Like, almost all of your bonus pool went to
down to 5 seconds.
What are we going to ban
right?
first? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, really, what we were trying to juggle with in our head is, like, what will they... Like, if we leave up Zeratul and Zagara, which one will they pick? Our entire plan just hinged on that. And, like, if we thought they would pick Zeratul, we would have banned it, because we don't want to play against it. But, like, on that map specifically, Zagara is so oppressive, it feels like, that we felt the heroes are close enough in power level and they're more comfortable with Zagara that they would take that. And we ended up just playing into that. I mean, it's unbelievably close. It's a hard game.
Yeah, I honestly have to say I can't remember the last time we've had a match this exciting and this back and forth. Crazy steals with the Maws on boss back to forth. Like,
game.
God.
No,
that
never
curse
again.
game, yeah. That was insane. I thought we were out of that game. Okay, there was one point, and my team will attest to this. There was one point where I'm rotating from bot back towards my base, and I step on an Abathur mine, and immediately their entire team shows up, and I get entombed and I just get wrecked. And at that point, I literally said to my team, fuck, I just died to an Abathur mine, and put my head in my hands, dude. I was so out of it at that exact moment. But, like...
but
turn it around.
I remember that. I remember
steals,
that.
The miracle boss steals just were
K1
what I
Pro,
needed.
the legend.
Like, oh man, that game
Those were
was so
amazing.
back and forth.
So I got one last question, at least from me. We're going into PAX. We have the MSI tournament, the first global event. Storm and Maelstrom both going. These two times, like after this set, so close, so intense. We know where tiers NA is at. How do you feel NA is going to show up at that event with these two teams?
I think NA is going to clean house. 100% honest. I hope we're on opposite sides of the bracket so we can meet in the finals again. Show people who's the boss. Because honestly, like, I look at EU play and I look at KR play and it doesn't look as clean as what we just played.
What about China? You haven't referenced China.
I have not seen a single fucking Chinese.
And he just kills his webcam. Actually, all the webcams just died.
4-hour limit.
4-hour limit, boys.
Oh,
The
wow.
dream's
We in
dead.
this.
Oh, man.
That was ridiculous. That was one of the best series I think ever.
Yeah.
Well, congrats, man.
That definitely was probably one of the best series in Heroes history so far.
Agreed. I'm very happy with that set.
Gotta get
was
that
awesome.
250 extra bucks, boys. Difference between second and first.
We're in there.
Yeah.
Just town hall things.
Just Town Hall.
You can
yeah.
you can yell at me for that one, but all right. Well, since all the webcams seem to have gone really dark and Dunks is ripped, like Jared's webcam is super dark. I have no idea.
It's the Skype Premium thing.
Yeah. It wants you to buy premium. It wants you to pay money, Jake. Get on that. Come on. Where's
Give them
production?
all the money.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I guess I'll do that.
I've got nothing else. I mean, it was a really awesome series, back and forth. Pretty clean execution in that last game.
Are you guys competing in Kings this weekend?
I think so, but it's my birthday, so I might just
Ooh.
bail and get drunk. So
What's
your birthday? See, August 1st.
August 2nd. I thought we were birthday buddies.
That would have been devastating, Dunk.
Shots
You know what's
fired.
great? You know what's great about the fact that these webcams just went down?
They're back. Dunk, turn yours on.
I can't
tried
see.
to turn mine on. How do I
I
turn it
can't
on?
see. but it's great because I don't get to see Kubi's shirt anymore.
Interesting.
I think it's pretty nice.
Oh, here we go.
There we go.
Turn it back on.
It's a pretty nice shirt.
All right. Well,
No.
on that note, I just want to give the final shout-outs. We'll even give Dunk the opportunity to give some shout-outs here. So, starting with you, Kubis.
You guys can follow me on Twitch and Twitter at the Kubi, and like Jake has mentioned a couple times, and sort of the honest of the show, here is Town Hall Heroes, our podcast. We've had Dunk on many times, as recently as 2 weeks ago. It was a good episode. You guys should go check that out. Also on Jake's YouTube. Other than that, that's it for me.
All right, Jared.
Such mute.
Jared, you're muted.
Try again.
Just a big shout out to Tempo Storm and all of our wonderful sponsors, Twitch, G2A, Namecheap, and Funk. A big shout out to the team. That was an insane series. We lost, but still proud of the guys because that was an intense back and forth match. Congrats Cloud9 for winning. I mean, for us to have our first tournament for that finals, like I am just so happy. So, just so happy both teams showed up today. That was awesome. And that's all I got, man.
Kevo.
Of course, you can just follow me on Twitter and YouTube at Sham2, and apparently my arms, I've lost control of them. Hold on, wait, there we go. They're now lined up. Oh, they were. There we go. Perfect. Anyway.
Gone. Concentration.
Of course, follow us on Town Hall Heroes on Twitter, and just check out all our stuff, guys. It's been absolutely awesome to cast.
So, Chad is demanding we interview Dread. Jared?
No, you don't want to do that right now.
Okay.
That's what I thought.
You never interviewed.
I can tell they're going over replays right now or something. I don't know.
Sorry, Chad. Dunk Trade.
Sorry, chat.
First and foremost, shout out to Town Hall and the community for putting on this tournament, funding it, and organizing it. Really appreciate that, you guys. Shout outs to our sponsors, G2A, Logitech, ZAM, BenQ, HyperX, Alienware, HTC, Log Class, Intel, Need for Speed USA, NVIDIA, Overwolf.
Got him.
And,
Damn.
yeah, man. G to Tempo Storm. That was an insane set. Insane.
Well, thank you all so much for the incredible games tonight. Honestly, I don't think anyone expected this to be like the best finals possibly ever. Thoroughly entertained. 4-man cast, a bit of an experiment. GG, boys. We survived. Somewhat.
Look at this production value.
I know. It's out the window at this point. Town Hall will return next Wednesday. We're going to start doing some recaps building up into the MGA series, which is going to be the first global event. So we're going to start talking about the Asia teams, doing some analysis on their playstyles, talking a bit about E-Star and MVP Black. We do have 7 of the 8 teams confirmed for MGA. It is E-Star, MVP Black, My Revenge versus Liquid, Virtus Pro,
Yeah,
and then we have...
And the 2 NA teams, yeah.
Yeah. And then the 2 NA teams. Super excited for that. There will be one more invite on top of it.
Yeah.
Wild card, yup.
Wild card, yeah. So, all right, guys. Thanks again. Congrats, Cloud9.
Yes. Super
Thank
congrats.
you, man.
Well played. Well played.
And be sure to tune in back here, this channel, for this weekend for Kings of the Storm. It is the kind of a farewell event for Sia Steve, who has now been hired by Blizzard. That is his tournament series. It's his final event. He's going to be coming up here to the studio. We're going to have a bit of a celebration with a bunch of people here live as the event happens, and, you know, all the top talent duking it out. We'll see you then. Take care.